Was Tito's win even a victory? I mean, really. Tito, of course, feels like it was a victory, a big win, vindication. But the rest of the MMA world really knows that's not true. Tito Ortiz went out there and beat his old rival, Chuck Liddell, via knockout in the first round. Now, Chuck Liddell was the victim of multiple knockouts prior to his retirement 8 years ago. That's right. Chuck Liddell retired from mixed martial arts competition 8 years ago and has not fought since. He retired after a long string of horrific knockouts. We all know the cumulative damage of the fight game, specifically the damage suffered by an athlete who has been knocked out multiple times. Tito took the fight, and I don't have a problem with that. Chuck called him out, whatever. They took the fight, but is it really a victory? Tito got the win, fine. It goes on his record. But does anybody think Tito Ortiz was actually the better fighter, is actually the better fighter? Now, Tito's celebration, his whole grave digger thing, I mean, is just ridiculous. And I'm sure Tito went home and felt like he was the man. Where really, I gotta say, and I think most of you watching feel the same way, he wasn't. Both guys got paid. They'll probably walk away with a couple $1 million. Maybe if the estimates are true, if it does a 100,000, 200,000 pay-per-view buys, and allegedly they're getting 30% of the $40 per buy cut, allegedly. So what are they getting? $12 each per buy. All right, $1.5 million, maybe $2 million they'll walk away with. Not a bad payday. That's the victory. You got to check. You got some easy money. But I don't think Tito can look himself in the mirror and for a second think that Chuck Liddell wasn't the better fighter. By far. We saw a Chuck and Tito in their prime. And we saw Chuck destroy Tito. Destroy him. Made him quit even in that second fight. And I think there's a little vindication that Tito feels that he received. I think Tito wants to wash the memory that we all have away of those two fights. But it didn't. It actually brought them back. So this is a quick video. I wanted to put out there because I wanted to see, what do you guys think? Leave comments below. Is this really a victory for Tito? Do you really think it's a victory for Tito? Or was it just yet another of combat sports legends getting chewed up and spit out? Like Muhammad Ali, like Mike Tyson, like so many great athletes before him. Was this just another legend getting beat up by a subpar journeyman? And that's not to disrespect Tito, but Tito didn't have the career of a Chuck Liddell. Tito didn't have the career of a John Jones. Tito didn't have the career of a George St. Pierre or a Randy Couture or many of the other legends in the game. Tito's notable, of course. He was in there, and maybe it's because he didn't quite have the competition that he needed in order to be a legend. But when he did fight the Randy Coutures, when he did fight the Chuck Liddells, he lost. And pretty decisively at that. I'm not mad at anybody getting paid, so take that for what it is. I certainly didn't buy the fight because I knew how it would go. And to add insult to injury, Chuck Liddell was knocked out by Tito Ortiz, who is known to not have knockout power. I mean, Tito just hadn't been able to put anybody away in his career via knockout. Accumulation, top game, ground and pound. Tito's a good wrestler. He's got a good top game. That's fine. But Tito's never, ever been able to put anyone away or show any dominance on his feet with striking. And I think that really shows how far Chuck Liddell's skills had diminished. and the damage that Chuck had incurred over the course of his career. That's got to be a hard one for Chuck to swallow, I'm sure, but it should be equally hard for Tito to swallow. If he's an honest guy and if he's an honorable guy, and I don't know, maybe he is, maybe he isn't, I don't know. But I can't imagine when he went home that night and he lay down in bed, and after all the showboating and after all the self-flatulation, I can't imagine that he really was proud of himself after that performance. So again, leave your comments below, subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up if you like this content, and then until next time, boom.